Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's race day. 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 Crank it up.
And we are high above the foregrounds here in Atlanta Motor Speedway for today's action here and showcase of Go Racing League's Global Strategy Team Next Gen Cup Series here on PT Race TV, presented part by our friends at JRC Jack Racing Collectibles as well. Hello everyone, I am the Crusader, Christian Charter, joining you guys here today live here in Atlanta Motor Speedway here in Atlanta, Georgia. You guys are in for a show, you're in for a treat because we got a treat in store for you today. Because we're about to bring another plate track to the mix in a 1.5 mile form, and these next-gen Cup cars certainly could have a little bit of an interesting dilemma up their hands here. We'll have to find out in just a minute, but first, time to take a look at our starting lineup. Today's action here on the pole in the 19. Is there any doubt? Tyler Dalton on the pole, the outside. In the number 90, Bobby Wetzel. Row number 2 is the 95, Sean Berg, the outside. In the number 60, John Hickman Jr. Row number 3 is the 7 of Scott Simley, the outside. Number 44, Christoph Hall. Row number 4 is the 35 of Chad Coleman, the outside. In that number 11 is Ron Holyfield. Row number 5 is the 12, Aaron Action Jackson. The outside, that 6-7 is Skylar Sixton. Row number 6 is Alan Wild. The big 22, the outside, number 24, Cody Sturgill. Row number 7 is going to pilot in with the 43 is Samuel Harrell. The outside, in the 42, Dakota Kramer. Row number 8 is the 89 of Russell Ottaway. The outside, in the number 80 is Brandon J. Osborne. Row number 9 is the 8 of Maurice Burnham. The outside, in the number 10, Ryan D. Cook. Row number 10 is the 83 of John McMillan Jr. The outside, in number 38, John McMillan Sr. Row number 11 is the 87 of Steve Ritter. The outside, that 53 is Bill Hales. Row number 12, the 18, Philip Schmitz. The outside, number 3 is Keith Prince. And finally, row number 13, it's going to be the number 96 of Jerry Livingston. The outside, in the 36, Richard Crane. Your lineup is now set for action and set for pace. And you can bet your bottom dollar these drivers are prepared as much as they are ready to kick it off here. 1.5 miles in length, flight track S setting, 550 horsepower package. Low down for us, all power and speed. Kind of thrown out the window, then comes more of a drafter's paradise and a bumper's run. Control here, extremely important. Looking at stage number 1 going the distance to about lap 35, and then stage 2. We'll get into about lap 80, final stage. Will be a 76 lap shootout. And that will set our bar and set our pace high. Here we go, off turn number 4 to the front straightaway. It's time to begin. Stage number 1 is now set. Bobby Wetzel immediately jumping to the bottom there. Dalton here, the 7500 crew of the 19 and the 9 going to try to immediately make an early run for it. Sean Berg in the RBS, number 75 right now looking on. This field right now has got 2 things going against them right now, and that is pacing control and dictating the moves. You never know who's going to go to the outside and drive it in a little deeper. You don't know who's going to go to the inside and push it a little harder. All you do know is if you don't make any moves sooner rather than later, well, you best hope you know how to find a way around it. Little Guns N' Roses action here on the number 43 with the Sweet Child of Mine machine, if I'm going to call it. I know that's not what it's actually called, but Sammy Earl, I think, kind of gets the reference there at least. That is a beautiful looking little blacked up scheme there for a Guns N' Roses looking truck car. The crazy thing is that that's not a car that they did in trading paints and just all of a sudden like turned it into an actual iRacing car. No, that's an actual real car that'll be running at the Daytona 500 tomorrow night. It'll be awesome to see and crazy to believe as we're 3 wide down in turn number 1. Skylar Sixton right now, not exactly laying her weight. He's moving the chains. Moving the chains, trying to move the runner to a little bit around, but you can see he gets kind of trapped up on the top side. If you ain't got a drafting partner, you got someone to tango with, it gets a lot harder to work with. And they're already learning their lesson there right out of the gate. Ron Holyfield and the number 11 right now parking it right behind the number 60. That of John Hickman Jr. And John Hickman Jr., last time we saw him, he was making some moves in Martinsville before those cautions kept blowing out and kind of slowing him down completely. Ron Holyfield majorly on the gas pedal and then hard on the brake pedal. You'll see a lot of that too, where drivers just have to kind of eke and irk their way through and back off at certain points. They cannot get too aggressive or too defensive. They have to stay very focused on each driver and each side. Don't let the car get too out of hand and too out of control. That dirty airflow, yeah, that's going to be a big issue here. Again, we got a 550 horsepower package, and you got a car that is not exactly like a truck that can punch through the air and then go with the wind and the flow. This is literally kind of more like trying to throw a dump truck into a wind tunnel and then all of a sudden trying to get a little bit extra speed on. Yeah, you put a lot more power into it, but again, it still runs like a dump truck. It just does not want to go sometimes. So you've got to make sure when you get a right chance and you see a right line, you better make some moves. You better make some jumps quick. That's when it goes from being a dump truck to all of a sudden literally turn into like a speeding bullet. You got to, and then still trying to aim that thing when it's already fired out of a gun. Yeah, good luck with that sometimes. I really don't know how else to explain it. It's really too difficult sometimes to explain how this car works. We're race right now on the outside. The A Shock Air Jordan Dove machine right now currently hanging low, trying to stay in control of his own destiny and staying out of trouble. Russell Ottaway, there's a guy right now that probably wants to stay out of trouble and not deal with it anymore. It's that 89, man. Ottaway this season has had a lot of bad luck and a lot of bad breaks, and nothing seems to have gone his way. He's looking to change that today. Tyler Dalton and Charles Van Schaik, the only 2 drivers so far this season, have been victorious throughout this entire Global Strategy Team Next Gen Cup Series. But I was told earlier today that Charles Van Schaik would not be able to make the call due to some just unfortunately not able to come out and race. So we do hope that he is having a good time out there wherever he's at, or he's at least okay. We'll be able to see him next time on out. So Tyler Dahl, the only one that could possibly add another one to the mantle. But he has since said plate tracks have been a huge problem for him, because he said it, even at Daytona, he's glad he finally got one off his back, but he knows, as well as anything else, getting another one will not be easy. These drivers will not play too kindly to him about trying to take too many wins this season early on from him. But especially with the playoff points coming up, that definitely makes for a very interesting key moment or key strategy. Yeah, it's very interesting to see, too, just how much they're rolling the outside line, because, again, we talk about how difficult it is with this car to actually stay out of trouble with it in terms of burning the tires up and giving up too much equipment. But it seems as though the outside line is actually being somewhat favorable. That's the Guns N' Roses number 43 right now, getting a good pump there for number 44, Christoph Hall. As Hall not driving the targeted up machine, and not really sure which car he's driving out there. The Old Spice. Alright, he's got to bring it back a little bit. He's going to give us the Old Spice machine. I like it. I like it. Well, the Old Spice right now currently is spicing it up just a little bit. Again, drivers on the outside still working together here, trying to stabilize now. But we talk about it in the truck race, we talk about it in the Xfinity race, where that right front just gets up into that outside groove that almost just becomes like a cheese grater on that rubber, shredding and tearing it up to where you need a lot more than just help from the draft. You need to make sure you got a run or two to go with it. That bottom lane does not give you any brakes if they have it already locked in. That's exactly what these guys right now are trying to avoid. They're trying to stay away from and hope for a run. However, if you can get the outside alert, being on the bottom then becomes an even bigger problem, because now you're a sitting duck, because all thing you can do is just hold that line and hope they make a mistake or they get a slight bit loose. They will not give you any brakes or any chances to run from it. Speed comparisons definitely off the charts and definitely become a lot more difficult as time goes on, with 21 laps remaining here in stage number 1. Christoph Hall into the wall protection off of turn number 4 there. Hall will have to try to come back into the field. Brandon J. Osborne watching on as he's trying to avoid the issues at hand. 3 wide back around there. Russell Ottaway backed out of there. Now backing up again. John Higman Jr. going to go right behind the number 83 there of John McMillan Sr. Senior right now, way back in the field. Actually, it's the 51 of McMillan Sr. McMillan Jr. I should say. End of the wall again. Christoph Hall might have tore up a little bit on that right front. The back of the pack right now kind of showcasing who else we got in this pack. Keith Prince, the only one that's nowhere near the packs at all, but Jerry Livingston holding the rear, Crane, Philip Schmitz, Bill Hale, Steve Ritter, Alan Wild, and McMillan Sr. I just mentioned. They are the ones in the very far back. And you're probably wondering at home, okay, why are they doing that? Why wouldn't you want to try to stay up closer to the front, try to keep some speed going? You guys got to remember something. When they're starting these stages, they don't want to tear up equipment too soon. Remember, there's no instant repairs in these races. You get no instant repairs. You got 2 green-white checkers and a restart zone enabled. So that forces drivers to not only make proper decisions in crucial moments, but they've also really got to choose and mark their positions and when they're going to make a move. And who would have thought, too, driving on a plate track, you actually have to back off a little bit just to make a corner. But again, Atlanta's Corner Speedway is not exactly your typical plate track. This originally was one of the absolute slickest and toughest terrains to face off against and take on head-to-head. And although many drivers, including myself sometimes, kind of do wish we could get back to the original format and style it had, I do not mind, actually, this plate track as kind of style, this kind of racing. It does make for an interesting little circumstance where drivers have to stay closer together and they have to kind of figure out new incredible ways to make moves and make proper passes. But at the same time, if it was a little bit looser, a little tight, a little harder to control, I guarantee you this would not be a track most would even judge or want as a play track. Back on board here, Brandon J. Osborne. He's moved up the chain. 7 spots up so far here as the number 67 of Skylar Sixton stays right in front here. The Ford's going a little bit hard here, trying to get up to that front. The only Chevy in this one is Ron Holyfield in the 11. The call 811, the dial 811, I should say, of the 11 of Ron Holyfield right now. Been just kind of staying slow and steady, not trying to make too big of a move. He went 2 spots up. But, again, Brandon J. Osborne, 7 spots up, qualified in 16th, currently in the 9th area. So he's already kind of getting a big picture of how the run's looking. A little bit of smoke coming down off of the rest of the bottom of the field there. Looks like maybe somebody getting a little bit loose down there, trying to cover it. They do as well. Now, so far, I mean, for stage number 1 anyway, I've been impressed. I'm impressed they've been able to get the outside line to work for a bit, and I'm impressed that they've been able to stay relatively under control. Nothing too crazy, nothing too out of hand. They've been really steady as it goes. And here's a look at our manufacturer model here on the left side of your screen there. There is the Tower of Doom being shown here. This, as you can see, top 10 white, only 3 of them are non-Fords. And only one Toyota, and here, of course, Russell Ottaway being the lone man for that job. But so far, the Toyotas have not had much luck here with that speed or with that power here on the plate track. The Ford's been dominating as usual. And I'll say it once and I'll say it again. If you're a Ford driver and you got these cars on the track, that is a bad omen for anybody that's a Chevy or a Toyota, because those Fords, when they group together, it's almost like an unstoppable force, meaning an immovable object. You just can't describe it, nor figure out how to take it down. And by the way, it's the NCA 11 ORG number 11. By the way, I apologize, not the dial 811 as I mentioned. Damn, Doyle, Brandon J. Osborne there, number 80 going up on the outside already. And look at this, right in the back of the pack, up to the front of the pack here. There is some movement coming along. Bobby Wetzel looking like kind of a bit of a Dale Earnhardt Sr. kind of maneuver here. He is just holding down the mid-pack and holding everybody else behind him while defending off all that dare come his way. And Tyler Dalton just using every bit, a little bit of it. Teammates working together. You know, I'm honestly not surprised in this case. You need help and you need teams to work these kind of plate tracks. You need somebody to draft with you to be able to push you. These cars will not allow you catch any breaks or get any easy lucks here. Burrell right now currently trying to find a little bit more help, a little bit more of an opportunity. He is working towards every little ounce, every little chance he can get. Back and stacked around on the back straightaway here, coming down right to the edge of the corner here. Scott Simley in the Heineken number 7. I don't know why I love saying that. But it's fun to say, I guess. The Heineken 7 machine going right down below here. Gonna swatch Sean Burke and Sammy Burrell nearly getting themselves into trouble there. Time you were seeing, by the way, just a minute ago, that was the best lap times these drivers have set on the clock here. That so far is a 30.31 And if you can believe it, was set by John McMillan Sr. He was the fastest time, at least so far anyway. But right now these drivers currently laying down speeds at 31-second laps. 31-second intervals because of the fact they're not getting as much power or speed as they would have earlier, or trying to drive it as hard. They can full throttle, but you can only full throttle so long, so much before you just overclock and overtax the tires and the engine. That's the last thing you want to do here, especially in this kind of scenario, this kind of situation. Don't let the pressure fold on you. Do not let somebody get too complacent or let you think otherwise. Stay focused on the drive. Stay focused on the march. The charge right now, though, well, honestly, unless your name is Samuel Harrell, you're the only one that can even catch these two up ahead. Look at the gap and the distance here set by these guys. This is absolutely ridiculous. Wetzel and Dalton have absolutely made a mockery of this race so far. And you would have thought, wait a minute, are we back in 08 or 09 or 2010? What the heck is this? Tandem drafting? No, it's not tandem drafting, guys. These cars aren't really supposed to do that. It's just these guys have kind of lost that bubble over there, and now they're having all sorts of issues trying to catch back up to them. No matter none, though. Only about 5 more laps here remaining before we bring out stage caution number 1. Field right now trying to gain position against track position, going to matter very crucially here when they need to get to pit road. You do not want to give yourself too far back into that pack and then have to try to work your way up again. These next gen cars are not like trucks or Xfinity where they got a really good draft package where you can build up a lot of speed and a lot of run. It just won't work that way in this case. What's up right now with a huge gap kind of lingering around there with his teammate Tyler Dalton just right in front of him, working together, every driver for themselves. But again, Tyler, no doubt about it right now, he probably is thinking more and more, if I could just keep this season going the way I am, I'll bring this championship home for my team. But again, it's one thing to get it into the playoffs, it's another to actually perform there. Final laps remaining here, and don't look now, but here comes the Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine. It is the 43th, Sammy Harrell. Harrell has not backed off, and he has got a whole lot of run, and he's pushing it towards these guys. Is there any tires left, though? He's got time, but he doesn't have much of it. 2 laps to go. Final push. Look at Harrell. Look at him drive that thing, man. He's trying to corner it off and then bring it set back down to the track. He's looking for any little extra bit of speed, every little extra power he can get here and see what he can do. Launching it down. 1 more lap remains. Wetzel and Dalton watching very, very carefully with Harrell behind him. Harrell looking for the final drive, final push coming up. Well, we thought honestly they were going to win away with stage number 1, but it looks like Harrell is not letting him go that easily. Does he have anything left? Going to the outside, Wetzel drops inside. Now to the final set of corners here for stage number 1. Big run coming up. Wetzel, Dalton, wait a minute. Harrell going to go 3 wide. That didn't work for him. Dalton will get it around, and Wetzel will have to settle for the 2nd spot. And how about that one? That got a little bit wild at the end there, race fans. Tyler Dalton having to throw the haymakers and get a block or 2 in there. Bobby Wetzel was looking maybe to make a move on the 19 of his teammate, and then Harrell wasn't exactly giving them any breaks there. A big jump to the front, but it's Tyler Dalton with yet again another stage win. From pit road, it'll be Dalton, Wetzel, and Simley moving into the chains here. Chad Coleman, Skylar Sixton, and Samuel Harrell will be the drivers coming out of pit road. The top 6, Brandon J. Osborne, Dakota Kramer, Steve Ritter, and Ron Holyfield running out top 10. Man, you guys want to talk about some wild moments in between there and some wild little positions there. Certainly was quite a bit there to be had. Well, we had a very interesting little spot there, to say the least, for our first stage. But as they always say, stage number 1 is only part of the deal. Stage 2 is when things really start to heat up. And if you really want to heat things up just a little more, get a little bit more spicy, you know what comes next. Green flag back on out. Stage number 2 begins. Back on the gas pedal, wound up the round track here. The field currently still staying relatively close to each other. Scott Simley in the 7 right now, probably looking a little bit more at the overall situation between Wetzel and Dalton. Probably not want to let him get too far ahead. These guys right now, they know though they cannot overdrive, they can't overpower Jack Coleman. He goes to the outside, got blocked up by Wetzel and Dalton. They throw the jump early on him. They got to make it a lap 80 now to get this one kind of cleared in for their next set. And they're running on a fuel wise right now of 60% fuel today, 4 additional sets of tires. So there will definitely be a little bit more worse for wear to use up. While at the same time, I think it kind of really forces drivers' hands a little bit more to make proper and good decisions here on when and where they choose to take those tires and choose to take the car on the track. Samuel Harrell already way behind the field of the big pack there. I don't know, maybe that's just to try to save up some fuel or save up some tires, but that's definitely not what I expected out of him here. Jack Coleman deep on the outside. Looks like he's trying to get back to the inside here. He's just looking for somebody to give him a break here. Doesn't look like he's going to get it just yet. Again, the problem though is early on you'll see drivers will get a little bit complacent, a little bit too over there eagerly here, and then they'll start to really kind of mash in the gas pedal and start to really focus in on their attacks. And Wetzel and Dalton already doing that and then some. But I gotta wonder though, will Dalton give Wetzel a chance here if it came down the line, or will Wetzel just take it from him? If I'm Wetzel right now, this is a golden opportunity not only to start making a run for the playoffs, but also this could be a chance to actually make some golden opportunities for later. Dalton is fast, and he's extremely good on the other tracks. I think, honestly, this one might be a race that I would be thinking about trying to take away from him, honestly. You give him too much power, he has a lot better chance of getting that final four, and then having to try and take him down with what kind of a driver he is in Phoenix, that'd be easier said than done. But again, we have seen crazier things happen before. And speaking of crazy things happened before, look at this. Rod Holyfield. Last time him and Dalton were working together, they won it out of Daytona, but Holyfield now, he's wasting no time to the front. Here comes the number 11 to the inside. We've got a new leader for another lap here. Dalton can't believe Holyfield just came flying up on him like a harpoon set on a big target. And unfortunately, that target was Dalton. And now, for the first time today, he gets to feel the outside line while Holyfield gets to keep the bottom all to himself. Consistency and control, though, that is the name of the game. That front straightaway, I'm telling you guys, that thing right now is absolutely tearing. So tires up, making it a lot more difficult to get around and make it through those turns. You can't be making mistakes like that. You can't let opportunities like that slip away. You've got to stay focused on your timing and stay focused on your run. On board here with the 42 Dakota Kramer now as we currently watch along. Wetzel immediately pushing the 19. He's trying to get him back to the bottom. Got somebody looking to work with the outside, maybe get something going as well up there. Dalton and Wetzel yet again working together, but oh! A reverse of fortune. Wetzel decides, nope, I'm not really working no more with you. I'm going to the bottom, bud. Sean Burke, they're going to try to help out Dalton a little bit. Burke right behind him, trying to get a good run to help himself, too. Dalton does not want to be up on that outside forever. He's got to come down to at least keep the tires somewhat relatively cool here. You tear him up too quick, it's going to mess you completely out, right? Although, honestly, it could be the way he's running right now. Is he possibly testing the waters? Because right now, I don't think I'd be testing the waters like this. Sean Burke down to the race lead. 3 different leaders now all of a sudden flopping around. Oh, look out down there. Cody Sturgill into the grass. Opens up his own lawn care service. And the Star Wars 24 trying to save it. He's not going to save it. He's in the wall. Yellow is out. And one with them. Jerry Livingston slams into the 24. Whoa, wild little situation popping up right there, race fans. We'll take a look at the quick instant replay. I apologize for the stream issue there. I know our stream kind of cut out for a sec. I don't know what's going on there. Brandon Osborne catches Sturgill there in the corner on the front straightaway. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. Richard Crane trying to avoid it. Aaron Jackson gets away. Jerry Livingston, though, unfortunately, not so much. Very big hit there, unfortunately. We'll take one more look at it, and we're going to go to our little drone cam, as I'm going to call it. Looked like just a 3 wide scenario popping up. Osborne really had nowhere to go. Neither did the other driver there. I think that might have been Holyfield there. And, oh, Livingston out. Well, anybody got, unfortunately, the bad break there. It was definitely Livingston. He had nowhere to go. Dottie can get away with it, get out of it. That was not to be. Very tough hit there. Sean Burke, Skylar Sixton to stay out. Dalton out of pit road immediately. Wetzel trying to hurry out. But he lost a lot of time there. Holyfield now going to move it ahead. And so will Ryan D. Cook and Dakota Kramer. But Sean Burke and Skylar Sixton going to be the 2 men staying out on the botch, staying out on the track with 100 laps remaining here still. Our first caution, non-stage caution-wise, released to the track. And again, yes, folks, I know there was a stream issue just a minute ago. We had a stream disconnect. I don't know what went wrong. I don't know what happened there. It was a little weird on our end. I promise you we'll keep monitoring it and try to hope that it doesn't pop back up. Alright, coming down off turn number 4 here, back on set for our green flag restart zone. The Global Strategy Team Next Gen Cup Series head to the JRC restart point, back to the track. 3 wide down the junction. A little bit of trouble there for Skyler Sixton here as he tries to keep that 67 somewhat under control. Jamie Harrell making the race lead. 3 wide down out of a turn, the number 4 onto the front stretch yet again, entering turn number 1. Dalton right now crossed up. He's now in a very tough little spot. And again, just like regular Atlanta, you can run the track like a normal Atlanta race, but unfortunately, once you're in that draft side, then you have to kind of play 2 roles, which is a very interesting strategy here on a track like of this nature. You know, the funny thing is, too, is this is exactly what NASCAR originally had wanted to include in 10 for their actual Next Gen Cup Series. They plan on having this be a 550 horsepower package with the way this downforce is and everything, and keeping them as close as they can on all the 1.5 miles and 2 mile tracks. I mean, even at that point, I kind of wondered to myself, what was the point of that then? Thankfully, though, that got completely thrown out the wire, and they had a really good season last season with those 1.5 and 2 mile tracks, but we still have yet to see really any good luck or good fortune for the short tracks. They have not gotten the love or the treatment they deserve with these cars. But hopefully that does change a little bit this season in the in real life segments. But right now, currently, looking on here on the virtual ends here, it's been pretty solid here so far, and a lot of movers and a lot of comers and goers. Bobby Wetzel, though, man, what a fall from grace he now has had. That's how quick things can turn on you on a play track. He's now in 21st. This is the guy that was battling with Dalton here for the race lead a while ago. Also was trying to deal with the pressure from everyone else. Stanley Harrell, though, wasting little to no time. Harrell has had stage points and some stage runs, but he needs a win here today to truly undermine and really show everybody else he's not here to play. He's here to fight. Sean Burke, though, another guy that needs a win today as well. The 95 has not had exactly the best season in his mind, and he's trying to change that. Dakota Kramer would be kind of a Cinderella story come to life here, the way I'm looking at it. He has not had he hasn't really had any top 10 to top 5 segments here with these Global Strategy Team Next Gen Cup Series. He's had some decent runs in the trucks division, but that OnlyFans 42, this is the first time today we've really seen him start to truly showcase something. And it looks like the thing he's showcasing isn't your usual OnlyFans content. It looks like he's showing some absolute speed under the wire there. Tyler Dalton, hold on down there, hold on. Tyler Dalton into the wall protection, 3 wide off. Here comes number 22 of Alan Wild. The Wild man starting to throw some moves here. Tyler Dalton into the wall there, coming off turn number 3. But unfortunately, the 7519 has also fallen from grace, making too many mistakes and giving up too many chances here. My opinion, that really started when he went to the outside and tried to block up there instead of trying to just run the bottom. Costing him dearly and costing him plenty of chances. And now he's learning the hard way what happens when you play that kind of move on a play track. 3 wide double then here. We're double 3 wide. Dakota Kramer has moved the chain. Sammy Harrell is trapped. They're all trapped. And Kramer right now probably just thinking like a sitting duck here. Here comes Harrell, though. Beautiful move right through the middle. Charging back in as we've got one around. That is Christoph Hall in the number 44. And all the while kind of joining him, if you will, up there as well, unfortunately. Well, now, race fans. Taking our look at it here. Let's see who got into who here. It might have been. Yeah, it looks like. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Talk about a huge hit there. Oh, my. Right front getting completely collapsed in there. I'm not sure if Christoph Hall actually had something to do with it coming off of the exit of turn number 2, then setting up on the backstretch. Oh yeah, he just drove a little too close. He got right into him there. He was trying to set the turn up, but instead he set Alan Wild up for the wall protection. I guarantee you, Wild probably gave a few words of advice there to Kristoff, and I'm not going to try to say what he probably thought in there. Although I usually could tell you it would probably get me demonetized here on YouTube and Facebook here the way I usually work. Only about 10 laps remaining here in stage number 2, but how about Dakota Kramer race fans, the number 42 OnlyFans Monster Energy Chevrolet, trying to get the Chevys a chance here. They're still living and breathing, and they're fighting. Kramer has got a golden opportunity here to really make amends and make a real good showcase of himself to not only the fans, but the drivers as well. Well, we're doubled up yet again, race fans. Immediately these fields. No room for error here. The fans now waiting the arrival back for these drivers to come back around and get themselves set for the end of this stage. When we get back across the line here, we'll be having about 12 laps remaining here. Kramer and Harrell right now, definitely the two eyeballs here that they are keeping their chances on. The two keeping their eyes on, I should say. I don't know what I said about the other thing there. OnlyFans versus some Guns N' Roses action coming up. Off the distance in corner number 4, down to the Jack Racing Collectibles race start zone. Here we go again, race fans. And Kramer immediately dropping in on the bottom lane here. Scott Sinley, Ryan D. Cook, and John Hickman Jr. making their runs known, their presence felt. Back the outside, bad on the back straightaway. It is going to be Kramer and Harrell moving the chains. Scott Simley, though, already got a lined up marker too. Harrell with a target on his back. If he's not careful, gets that car too loose, he'll be in trouble here. He's going to need a good push on the backstretch. He needs to back it off, though, in the turns. That is Simley in this case. Simley getting a little too complacent. Maybe needing to back down just a slight bit. Doesn't want to hold down too much, though. Lingering their way through into turn number 3 and 4. It's still Kramer, your race later. Ryan D. Cook right behind him right now, looking to hold him down, trying to build the speed up, trying to hold up the momentum. Laps winding down, 10 to go. Big push, big bump, big jump, big hits. You can see how hard them things are hitting right now. This is a great camera angle just to give you guys a good insight how much pushing and shoving they do just to get them going. Wild man coming on the call here. It said we'll have a strong car tonight. Just biding my time. I'm not going to read that last part though. I'll let you guys decide that in the trailer. But nevertheless, Alan, just real tough break there for you, sir. Hopefully you'll be able to come back out here next time out, sir. Harrell right now desperately trying to get some speed on the outside. Again, he was using the inside, using that last minute line there to use up on the rest of the field. Kramer, because of how many laps are left, he's really just kind of in his own little territory here. If I'm Kramer right now, my first objective, do not go to that outside. Block the bottom and keep that run to yourself. Do not touch the outside. Won't worry about Harrell. Don't worry about anybody else. Just stay on the bottom lane. Keep the push. Keep the run. Just keep the corners tight. That's all you can do. Whether or not he takes my advice is up to him. But, I mean, right now I'm looking at that inside line as my saving grace. Simply how much pushing, how much shoving he's got to do just to try to get Harrell moving up there. It still has not been enough. There just isn't long enough of a straight on the back half to catch him. And that front nose of the straight has been a lot more difficult. Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. Harrell, huge run. Big run coming on the outside down to the bottom. It looks like that strategy worked out all right. Simley got a good push there on Harrell, and Harrell was able to use it. Kramer left all alone. I still stand by running that bottom because at least you know you can have a chance at getting a decent position. The outside was going to be extremely controlling and intensifying. 5 laps remain now, coming up to the track. And look at this, Kramer looks like he doesn't care no more. He saw what happened earlier. He's going to try to use the same strategy. Look at this right now. Simley, Harrell right now pushing and shoving each other while Kramer tries to get some help. He's going to get it. He's going to get it from the number 10 of Ryan D. Cook. But here comes the action man himself, Aaron Action Jackson. We haven't heard his name in a while on that top half. Well, looks like he's looking to change that right now. Scott Simley dived the outside, was looking for some run, looking for some speed. Harrell blocking it off, though, down the back straightaway. We are still in a tandem battle. Stage number 2 nearing its climactic sequence and end point. John Hagman Jr. right now also looking on, trying to find some run and a little bit of an opening or two. The gap's starting to dwindle with 3 to go. Aaron Action Jackson getting a little bit more difficult there for Kramer. Little side skirt bump there. Jackson, oh my, look at that. Big run, big push. Kramer trying to avoid it. Not going to have enough time though to catch him there. Jackson down the outside, but he's not having any speed there. 2 to go. Simley just trying to find anything to get the Heineken number 7 ahead of the Guns N' Roses number 43. The OnlyFans 42 though looking to show some more content up on this end of the platform. Harrell dives the outside. Again, big mistake. Simley to the inside. Now a big run coming up. Harrell left all alone. It's Simley to the lead. Harrell going back topside. Looks like he's going to try to use the same strategy earlier. That's going to be a very tight spot, though. Very loose out the corners. Kramer now looking for one more shot in the dark. Harrell, though, trying to hang on. Down through 3. Down into turn number 4. Samuel Harrell will lead him down with a solid end. Stage number 2. He wins stage 2. How about that one, race fans? That's what we call kicking up some speed, kicking up some power. Samuel Harrell, the number 43 Guns N' Roses machine, parks it into stage number 2's top spot. And might add, what an impressive little battle there, and just controlling to see how it was here. Hit Strategy's really going to be in troublesome slate here. Scott Silly out first. But, whoa! What the heck happened to Skylar Sixton? That might be the weirdest pit exit I've ever seen. What the heck happened to him? Take a look at the replay. I don't know if that was exactly intentional or what happened there, but I think he might have. I think Tyler Dahl might have actually clipped him there. He did, yeah. What was all that about? Did he miss it? I don't know if Skixton missed his pit stop or Dalton was getting a little bit frustrated with him, but either way, that was a little bit much. I think Sixton was probably right in here. There's Dalton there. He gets him a push. That was Coleman's spot. Then, there he goes. Yeah, I don't know what that was all about, but and Six are probably having a little debate there on the radio with the official saying, how was I supposed to get into pit road? I got completely tagged. Well, all I can say is, man, you might want to figure it out sooner rather than later because you're about to get back into green flag territory in a minute. So, final time today, race fans. This is your final stage. Pressure is going to be at a fever pitch, and my, is it going to be an absolute fight. Reeling them down off the corners here, back to the green flag. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Final stage engaged. Scott Simley, Samuel Harrell, John McMillan Jr. immediately going to rocket them right off. John Hickman Jr. straight to the inside. And the number 12, Aaron X Jackson, looking to push them around. Sammy Harrell, well, he's wasting no time. He's going to the outside. Simley, though, going to be a race leader. Sexton back into pit road, by the way. The number 67, I believe, having a penalty down there for having, he'll have to serve. Remember, there are no black flags cleared from what I understand from the race officials. Whatever happens to you, that falls on you. Unless there is some kind of mistake iRacing made, and usually that does not ever happen in this situation. Sexton, though, has got to be at an unhappy camper right now after everything he's been through today. 3 wide off of turn number 4 to the front stretch. Brandon J. Osborne getting kind of tripped up there from Coleman and Dalton, and there's no room for error there. Maurice Burnett just kind of watching it on. The 19 almost looked like a madman on a mission right now, working with everything he's got, just trying to get up to the front here. Look at this down deep inside, almost 3 wide off for the race lead. Dalton is not wasting time here. He is getting aggressive here, to say the least. 3 wide coming off turn 1, now heading turn 2. He gets it around McMillan Jr. Oh, and speaking of McMillan Jr., what cow? He's going for a ride, and so is Ron Holyfield. Huge wreck ensues. Jerry Livingston trying to get on the brakes and off the binders. Caution flag is out here. Oh my word, what on earth happened here? Looks like that. Oh, look out. Well, Holyfield got completely taken by the 8 of Burnett. I'm not sure who got. Well, Livingston did that to himself. I think he was just trying to avoid trouble. But I'm trying to figure out who got that 51 there. McMillan Jr. Looked like he might have just got himself kind of trapped in a bad spot. We'll take one more look at it. I'm not sure here. Sean Burke, oh yeah, definitely a bit of an issue there. Sean Burke really knew where to go. Great camera angle too. You can see on the left side of your screen. Ron Holyfield gets completely battered there by the 8 of Maurice Burnett, but unfortunately McMillan Jr. suffers the most from that little situation. Bobby Wetzel, Ron Holyfield, Sean Burke looking to go into pit road. Tyler Dalton, Sammy Harrell, Tyler Dalton, Scott Simley, Chad Coleman, and John Hickman Jr. will be our top 5 for now, anyway. The guys right now are probably just kind of focusing in on their momentum and trying to keep the strategy up to par. You can't make mistakes and you can't give up opportunities here. Double filing them back in here. We are setting them up yet again to go for the ride here. Well, if you guys are ready to rock and roll a little bit more here, I say we are ready too. Field is preparing up yet again, setting themselves down across the track into position. Into the distance zone, across the plains here to the green flag race start zone. Well, Tyler Dahlin wasted pretty much absolutely no time getting himself back over the front. I think, honestly, he was probably just thinking about trying to make a move on Sammy Harrell as quick as possible there, and that was his end goal. And it looks like it worked out perfectly in his favor, but Harrell's not giving out yet. Chad Coleman making a jump up the front. Got Simley dumped up on the outside, kind of firing off a little bit. Everybody moving ahead of him. You just can't give them opportunities like that, and think that they won't take it out on them. Chad Coleman right now has not only made a jump to the front, but he's given some serious pushes to the front. Him and Tyler Dalton is completely whipping it around and sending it on its way back on down. So Dalton, your race leader, Aaron Action Jackson, though, right underneath here. Action trying to bring the action here. Right now he is right on the playing field and on the nose. Brandon J. Osborne, I've talked about him all day long. He's hanging in there. Russell Ottaway, talk about a comeback day for him. The number 89, he's making a comeback trail. And he is fighting for everything he's got just to try to hang on. At this point, as a driver, though, you kind of have to do it because there really isn't much offset you have left. Russell, oh, in the wall there off the left turn, number 4 on the front straightaway. Got it right into that into the quad oval spot in the turn. Well, Christoph Hall right now is fighting troubles earlier on. Maybe they're talking to. He may get from a wild man later. The old Spice, number 44, is still in the running. He's moved in the top 10. Similarly, he's got all sorts of problems right now. He is in the wall. He is in the grass. He's in the pass. He's now firing back off to the exits here. He needs help, and he needs a lot of it right now to keep up. And look at this now. Battle for the race lead again. Dalton, Harrell, the two stage winners. And Russell Ottaway being kind of the focal point here for the bottom to help out Harrell. Speed certainly still on the outside there. Chad Coleman trying to get something to work with him here. Every driver for themselves. Nobody giving an inch here. We've got 55 laps remaining. What a day of racing here on PT Race TV. Wild, chaotic, and frenetic moments, but that's just the way we like it. Nothing else to it. Harrell, though, going to go back to his home on the outside. He's going to try to defend off the newcomers here. The Sweetwater, number 89, and Russell Ottaway to the inside. We've got a battle for the race lead, and Russell, for the first time this season, will finally get the lead. For a driver last season that really showed a lot of promise. Oh, no, no! Oh, my goodness. The big one comes at Atlanta, folks, and it struck with an iron fist. Oh, my. And all the way it's done. I'm gonna say right now to the 89, I'll take full blame for the broadcast first, but everything else, let's just look at the replay. Well, I'm not gonna be real. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. There was no gap there for Dalton, and Ryan D. Cook just barely slid up and caught him. There was no gap there. Oh my, what a hit there from the 53. That was Hales there. Bill Hales got him. There was no room there, though, for the 19. Unfortunately, he could not get out of it in time before disaster had a strike. Aaron Jackson in there. You can see another massive wreck. Bill Hales catches two for the price of one. Got Aaron Jackson as well, but Russell got to be an infuriated man right now. Good chunk of the field going into pit road right now. They're going to try to get cleaned up. Dakota Kramer, Sean Burke, Samuel Harrell. Well, mainly just Burke and Kramer stayed out. Harrell actually did go into pit road. He's actually coming out now. Ryan D. Cook going to get ahead of him, though, it looks like. Harrell going to lay low for a second. Oh, my goodness. You know, it always happens. It just always happens. I talk good things about somebody. I talk good things about a driver. And then what happens next? Well, this stuff happens. At this field right now, probably looking very, very carefully these last 50 laps as their coup de grace, if you will. They know they cannot make any more mistakes. Massive, massive situations. A blighted and a bulged on the track. Well, this field right now currently keeping close proximity to the order of chaos and the order of situational awareness, but now it is time to bring it back to the Jack Racing Collectibles restart zone. The big one has struck. Now the field must recoup and regain control. Kind of surprised Ryan D. Cook nor Tyler Dalton actually got into that mess and got into anything there. Kramer right now rocking the outside. Cook though to the inside. New leader, at least for the time being anyway. Oh no, Kramer gonna take the lead lap though. Cook not able to get ahead of him. Kramer kind of got struck in the bad spot there earlier on. I said earlier he should stay to the bottom, and he did. I don't know if he was listening. But then he went to the outside as soon as Morrell started making some moves up there. Now is he thinking the outside line is the only way to go? I don't know. If I was him, I probably would still back off a little bit and maybe try to get a little bit more time and control under the car. Can't be making too many mistakes and letting too many opportunities slip by you. Russell Ottaway is going to bring the 89 back out on the track. And it's honestly amazing to me that he's even able to run that thing, let alone get it back on the track to begin with. Well, here comes Kramer on the outside again. Sean Burke giving him a good push. Kramer, if I was you right now, I'd probably get to that bottom lane. This is going to be your golden opportunity. Force the rest of the field to have to work with you. And he's going to. Good move there. Burke, though, on the outside. He's going to try to run the tires in. Another strong run here from Burke and Dalton. But again, you run on the outside for so long. How long before you tear him up? And Dalton making Burke pay for that. Big move. Dalton now to the lead. Burke realizing he just got played a fiddle and a fool there by Tyler Dalton, but now looking to make a payback on him for that move. These guys have absolutely called each other's numbers out. They've called each other's moves. Burke, good run coming off turn number 2. And he's got a whole lot of momentum there. He's got time. He wants to go down the bottom, but now he's going to lose it going into the turn. No room for error there. Burke stays on top. Osborne right now kind of crossing him down. Look at this crossover from turn number 4. And Dalton this time gets the one that's a sitting duck. Gets it fast off. Sean Burke to the inside. New leader yet again. Dalton, though, big run on the outside. Looking for another jump there. Ron Holyfield looking to try to collapse it in. Burke left all alone on the bottom. No speed. And look at McMillan Jr. too. After all the issues earlier, the DQ 51 still somehow is hanging in there. How about that? Collapsing him in right now. Philip Smith's here working on trying to keep himself under control and out of trouble here. This entire field right now currently just looking on, trying to preserve and trying to control the narratives of their own destinies. McMillan Jr., though, the hard charter without a doubt, 12 spots, then turns to 17 spots. He's currently looking for 18 in the lead. And he's got Dalton right now as a drafting partner right now, looking to help him out and help himself. Staying the outside allows him to stay a little straighter and use the back stretch as a little bit more of a runway. But again, once you get that bottom lane kicking back up, then you really have to work your way through. Here comes the AutoZone 35. Chad Coleman back in the mix. Surprisingly, this season, Coleman has not been to victory lane yet. He's almost been kind of an outlier, if you will, kind of a shadow, hidden in the shadows kind of driver. Well, that changed today. McMillan Jr. right now just being very cautious on when and where he makes a move and when and where he decides to take the drive. These guys right now trying to stay controlled in nature and controlled on their own platform. Even being in that single car draft, again, that is still a lot of work. Yeah, a lot of stuff to figure out here. Field running out of time right now, currently trying to hang on. Bobby Wetzel in the number 9, currently looking to the inside. The number 80, Brandon J. Osborne, looking to get some speed going, some power up on the crib here. Dakota Kramer right into the mix yet again. Oh, Wetzel, big little tag there he got there, looks like from Kramer. Samuel Harrell, Ryan D. Cook, they're all in that bunch, and now all in that mix-up. There's not a single driver right now that is not pushing the limits here, I'll tell you that much. 37 laps remain here, Simley. Oh no, that's what we were worried about. It's happening again. Look out, look out. Big pile up coming on the front straightaway. Another crash ensuing. This is exactly what we were worried about. And it happens again. Wetzel nowhere to go except crashed out. And a huge fall from grace from earlier on the number 9 car. Taking a look at it from the replay here. We'll take it to our chopper cam. It looked like maybe just a little bit of a little too eager to get going to the front, trying to charge it in the middle. Good 3-wide pass here, but then you got Osborne backing down on Cook. Wetzel trying to get out of there. Harrell doing a great job trying to drive it off from the grass. As the entire field basically getting caught up in the 6 charade that is the plate track race. Take a look one more time here. This is Harrell's on rear view onboard camera, by the way. That's what it's like trying to save a next-gen Cup car in the grassy plains. Pit road wise right now. Russell Ottaway going to immediately get out, but he's still got to be a couple laps down here, so it really doesn't matter what he does. McMillan Jr. coming out quick, but it's Tyler Dalton that gets the advantage yet again. There's a race you're going to get Tyler Dalton on. It's going to be this one, although honestly he's not been making very many friends either, so it's hard to say. I mean, maybe these guys maybe kind of pay attention to what everybody else is doing and maybe looking at the overall picture, but this is a long last bit of laps. Not only to have to fight with, but also to have to deal with if your name is the leader. Your field has now rejoined the pack and rejoined the fight, rejoicing for 30 laps remaining here. Field is now ready to get back down to it yet again and again. We just take a look at this field of drivers: Dalton, McMillan Jr., Osborne, Holyfield, Kramer. Everybody right now looking at the overall situation. They know they can't be making too many more mistakes. Dalton, yeah, they're going to restart off the line from the restart zone. Back at it. Hey, look at this. McMillan immediately on the jump. Oh, hold on down there. Big little problem for Kramer. Holyfield, them gliding in. Osborne gets a jump there on the 51 and a big run for McMillan Jr. This is the first time we have seen John McMillan Jr. the race leader this entire season. And this would be a race he could certainly go for right about now. Dalton having a little bit of a hiccup there, unfortunately, in terms of catching his brakes and his luck. He said even at Daytona, he's had it pretty much the other way around compared to what he had helped there. He just had it happen to him yet again here. Bill Hales, talking about a guy that's having to come back from the back as well. He was 14 spots up, made a tremendous run to the front. But John Hickman Jr. now forcing the line up ahead here with Scott Simley in the raceway. Lap traffic. Hickman, hold on. Nice save. Got that front of the nose twitching around a little bit. He was trying to figure out where to steer it off from. And into the wall. Osborne in the middle. 3 wide through the corner. It's Osborne getting ahead. Sammy Orell right behind him. Hickman Jr. going right for broke. McMillan just making too many mistakes, and now he's made even more. Led by Simley, trying to back off. Good save. No, maybe not. Oh my, how did he save it again? He got clipped there by his own man there. John McMillan Sr. was the one that clipped him. They both save it, but unfortunately Junior not coming away with this one. Higman Jr. now having to deal with Dalton right behind him here. Ron Holyfield going to work with Dalton yet again. Bill Hales is now 18 spots up, looking to be the ultimate hard charger of the night. Samuel Harrell trying to make a fight and a break for it here, looking for everything he's got. Westell and Cook somehow they're still in it as well. This pack right here could determine the race winner. As now they'll get right into traffic yet again. That's the 67 of Sexton. Sexton staying topside. Doesn't want to ruin their race. But again, they're going to have to make some moves here and make some runs. Osborne backing off, trying to stay out of trouble. He'll stay in a good position there. Holyfield now, look at this. He moves to the inside. Big run there as though the NCAA 1-1s now riding their way up. Remember, Holyfield worked with Dalton earlier, only to then leave him high and dry. Wetzel tried to do the same earlier, and Dalton made him pay for it in stage 1. In stage number 2, though, Dalton wouldn't catch very much of a break. This is now anybody's race. Harrell right now wants to do what he did in stage 2 and finally eclipse the climactic sequence. We've got 25 laps remaining here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, this time on by. The Global Strategy Team Next Gen Cup Series not laying in anything less than perfection and a 100% mentality. Holyfield and Higman Jr. just looking on. The sea of green is what they wanted to be. And that's exactly what they're getting. Whoa, big jump there from Harrell right at Hales. Hales, you saw him really jump the outside, went right in, crossed up, and then got crossed over. Kramer right now looking onto it, trying to find some help. Randy Cook looking to cross up Hales. Hales had to back off, but didn't quite want to do it that well. The speeds and power right now are at an absolute fever pitch. Nobody is standing or sitting down. There is nobody down on the edge of their feet and the edge of their toes in this one. They're going to run this single file draft for a little bit. It looks like they want to just keep everything in motion. They know the laps are winding in and coming closer and closer. How bad has the right rears, how bad has the right fronts, and how much of these cars have they tore up around the track so far? Looks like Dahl might be getting a little bit impatient. I know Harrell is. Oh boy, here he goes. Ryan D. Cook looked like they were all looking for an opportunity to play it cool and play it well. Well, looks like that went out the window. Well, it looks like the outside still has a little bit more power than the ones on the bottom. Again, the objective is just using all the track you can. It's still Atlanta Motor Speedway, so you still run it a certain way to keep your speeds up. The only way to get around it now is to punch draft and look for an opening or look for a chance. Maybe get the car just a slight bit loose, but again, you get them a slight bit loose, then you're really asking for it. Ron Holyfield looking to get his debts repaid, his receipt given back to him there from Daytona. Dalton watching on, trying to find maybe another way to get around it, looking for 2 in a row. Maybe the only second driver to do it this season. The other, well, you can guess it, Charles Van Schaik. Neck and neck still on that front straightaway. No holding back, no hold barred up. $17 laps remain right now. This field is just not giving an inch. And it's now about to turn to 16 laps remaining. Does Ron Holyfield have anything left in case Hickman Jr. or Tyler Dalton decides to play a move on him? Those right fronts and right rears have got to be straight up burning. Outside of that rubber, those cars can only handle so much, and they are well aware of that. 16 now turns to 15 laps remaining this time on by. You talk about Osborne too, by the way, man. The 80 Hams oil machine, he has made a tremendous comeback today. He's got 12 spots up right now, but he has been fighting all day long to stay in that relevant zone and stay up front. He's done all that and then some. Look at Hickman Jr. though. I saw him catching a little glimpse to the inside. Looked like he was poking around at the bear on Holyfield. Hickman Jr. knows he cannot be making too many more mistakes, so he's got to make a move for it eventually. It's one thing to be patient, but it's another to finally get a run. If somebody goes to the bottom, he's got to go there too. Holyfield will have no run on the outside, no matter what you tell me, no matter what you got for me. There's no way on your own with that far of a gap between the cars that Holyfield will have any chance to really hold back someone on the bottom with multiple cars pushing and shoving into the line. I just don't see it working. Holyfield needs to be careful. And Harrell back underneath. Oh, look at this crossover. He did it. Harrell did get it done. A crossover on Dalton and Osborne, but now runs into traffic. Oh, he's not going to try to shoot the gap, is he? Oh, yes, he is. He's trying for it. He got it up. He's trying to get the outside again. McMillan Sr. trying to get out of the way. This is absolutely wild. Harrell will not go down without a fight, and he's not giving up either. 3 wide down through 1 and 2. Chances running lower and lower right now. These guys need to figure things out quicker than they know it. Harrell has made some absolutely amazing maneuvers so far this season, and this race has been absolutely no exception. But is there anything left? Is there any chances, any opportunities left to make a run for it? 11 will turn to 10 to go, and this next time on by, look at the cars just absolutely heading off the corners there. They're taking every ounce of beating and abuse, to say it nicely here. Phil Hale's kind of caught up and enduring through the speeds and enduring through the throttle. Momentum is right now starting to shift a bit. Every driver for themselves and no one giving it an inch. Look at Kramer. Now he's making a run on Dalton. Dalton watching him. Gonna try to fire it back underneath him and try to get right on the run. Oh, Osborne, huge hit there from Kramer. Nice move though by Osborne to hang on to the throttle and keep speed high. Dalton trying to get something going on Harrell, but Harrell continues to block. Hickman Jr. and Holyfield are loving every minute of what they see because they are moving the chains even further. A Chevy and a Ford working together. But two very similar paint schemes being used up well. The NCAA 1-1 ORG right now have got to be very happy with what they are witnessing from these two drivers, the mainstays of their group, trying to keep relevancy and momentum alive. Feels like he's still owed one from Daytona. Hickman Jr. feels like he's owed a few from this last couple races, including Martinsville in the trucks race. I think it may boil down to these two drivers being the last remaining piece to the puzzle. Harrell is losing ground. He's losing time. He's still pushing for everything he's got, but I don't know if he's got enough to catch him on the final laps. I've been wrong before, though. Could be playing possum with us here. We're down to 7, going to 6. Dalton seems to have tore up too much of the right and the right rear and right front tires here. I don't think he's got any more grip left, although I could be wrong too, because it looks like him and Harrell are now finally making a final push. A final drive, if you will. A final chance, but Dalton, no gain there. That's not looking good. Osborne, Kramer, they're trying to help him, trying to push him. Harrell, though, he's got some tire left there, looks like. He's used the strategy well all day long. He's going to use it again. Look at this. He's trying to get Hickman Jr. to blink. He's trying to get Holyfield to blink. He wants him to go to the bottom so he can take the outside. Those two know, though, they cannot give him the chance. 5 laps to go. Little loose. Kramer, I don't know if he's got a tire going at or what's going on, but there's a problem down there for the 42. Kramer has got all sorts of problems right now on the back half of this race. Hales and them trying to make it ahead of him. Sean Burke right now, lap traffic, getting out of the way. Harrell to the inside. Here comes a run. Is this the final attempt for the win? Hickman Jr. and Holyfield trying to work together, trying to hang on. Harrell, though, making sure he's putting everybody on notice, putting everybody to good use. Osborne now going to throw one at Dalton there. Dalton trying to keep him under control, trying to use the draft as a saving grace. It works there. Kramer right now trying to throw it back. Now at Osborne for trying to make the same move. And he crosses over the 80. Big close call, though. Crossover now, looking for another drive off. Successful there. Osborne, though, and Kramer, they're not making friendly remarks, though. Bumping and banging. Noses and fenders being put together. Here we go now. This time on by. The sea of green sees another piece of green. Green flag in the air. 2 to go. Has Harrell weared out too many resources, or does he have anything left? Lining up the draft. You can see a slight bobble off the throttle, though. It's almost like the car is stalling or he's stalling in. It's hard to really say. Here we go, though. This time on by. White flag in the air for the race win. Final lap engaging Holyfield and Hickman Jr. They have been doing such a good job holding on. But what happens next in this case? Which one gives the opening? Both cars look good. Harrell, one more time. He's going for broke. Going for the run. He might have it. No, he's not going to have enough. Straight to the finish line coming off. It's Ron Holyfield getting the receipt from Daytona. Wow. Oh my. Well, we no longer have just 2 winners throughout this season. It is now going to be encompassed as 3. As Ron Holyfield will be your race winner here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and a very big victory for that number 11 NC 811 ORG crew. John Higman Jr. definitely got to be a little bit annoyed that he could not get a final run going. But Ron Holyfield, in his mind, was owed a few receipts, especially for helping out at Daytona last time out on a play track end. Gets one in victory lane at last. Kind of surprised he's not going to go out and do a little bit of burnouts, honestly. I would have thought this been a little bit more of a special moment for him, but looks like he just kind of wants to play it cool. Race results now popping up on your screen here. We'll take a look at our third place finishers here in just a minute as well. Listen in with them. Should be interesting to hear their thoughts on this one. But here is your final results presented by Jack Racing Collectibles. Ron Holyfield by less than 600ths of a second. It'd be 59 thousandths of a second over John Higman Jr. Samuel Rell, though, give the man his due. Breaks up stage 2. Almost gets the win. Gave it all he had there. Goes third. Tyler Dalton. He's going to continue his podium streaks with another podium in the top 5 bracket anyway. But Tyler Dalton definitely looking strong throughout the season. Dakota Kramer, what a performance today. Again, almost getting a win here, but so long, just could not hang on the tires. Brandon J. Osborne, another impressive start in the race for him. He put up a great fight here. Bill Hales, man, what can I say about him? Going away 7th today. Ryan D. Cook getting himself in an 8th spot. Phil Schmitz getting himself 9th. And Chad Coleman, another top 10, another bracketeer for that team. Just not the win, though, that he was after. Now the race fans, the time has come. It's time to listen to your top 3 drivers joining me here now. First on the call here, your third place finisher in the 43. He put the sweet child of mine to good use in the Guns N' Roses camp. Sammy Harrell, welcome to the jungle indeed, sir. You popped this one in for third. And, man, talk about throwing yourself into the jungle with Higman and Holyfield. How was it there on those final laps?
Man, it was great. I definitely had a hot rod, especially long runs. I just didn't have any help at the end. They were all teammates, so they run a good race. That was a great win by Ron Holyfield and John, but I think everybody run a good race, especially at Atlanta, man. It's so tight. It's so tight.
So tight indeed. I know you had a lot of trouble there kind of making a run for it, trying to escape through the rest of the pack here. But, I mean, for everything you had to go and you had to deal with there, I mean, what really was kind of the main crux and the main stuff that you were kind of hoping for there on that final lap from them?
Well, you had to time your runs, and when they let off the throttle going into the corner on the high side, that you just had to hold it down and hope it would stick to the bottom. If not, you'd have to get out. That's how I passed Tyler and a couple of other ones. You just had to slide job them just to pass them, but it didn't work on the last lap. I was hoping. I was actually hoping somebody else could come up there and help me, but I just think everybody got too tight at the end.
Too tight at the end, getting yourself, though, into a solid end quest here. So, Harrell, I got to ask you, man, another podium. Who do you want to thank her for this one?
Uh, how about Guns N' Roses? Welcome to the jungle for real. No, definitely my teammates and just everybody out there. Um, Me and Tyler talked the other night through Discord. He gave me a few tips. I appreciate that. Just there's a bunch of fast drivers in this league, and man, they make you better. If you don't learn and if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. That's for sure.
Well, you did not get left behind tonight in this one here, Harrell. Congratulations, sir, and great to see you back here for yet another podium today, sir.
Thank you.
Samuel Harrell, ladies and gentlemen, coming away today with a Third place finish. John Hickman Jr. Still needing to join us on the line here. We'll hear from the Sim 500 Mafia driver here, as he will now be joining me here on the call here, ladies and gentlemen. Your second place finisher today, John Hickman Jr. here, and John, we're almost bringing one home for that Sim 500 camp here as you bring this number 60 in for a second place finish. After all the wild madness you suffered in Martinsville, I mean, you got to believe Atlanta was a little bit of a cleansing here for you today.
I don't know. It was still pretty crazy. I had to drive through a lot of stuff there, and honestly, I didn't think I was going to end up as good as I did because I had some issues with pedals and all kinds of things going on. So it was a pretty interesting race for me.
Well, yeah, absolutely there. I mean, just trying to not only avoid the situations, just trying to avoid the hard racing in between, but for you in this case, I mean, what else for you and this crew can you do to try to finally get that win off your back and try to get, one that you were looking for so long in your mind?
Oh man, honestly don't know. I just try to do the same thing I've been doing. I mean, it just seems like if I could catch a break or two, it'd work out. But you know, uh, I'm sure it'll come soon.
Yeah, it surely should come soon indeed here, but nevertheless, John, another podium here, another great run for you in this camp. I gotta ask, sir, who do you want to thank you for that?
I'd like to thank Senpai Hubbard and Goat Racing League for putting this thing on. I'd like to thank you for broadcasting the race for us. I'd like to thank my mom and dad for watching them, and that's, I guess, about it.
All right, well, John, man, what a run today here for you and this team. Congratulations yet again on another podium today.
Thanks, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Hickman Jr., your Sim 500 Mafia driver. And now, finally, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to hear from the man himself. A receipt back in Daytona, been finally delivered here to the rest of the field. Ron Holyfield, you're going to get this one finally off your back. Congratulations winning here at Atlanta. And I mentioned it literally about that just at Daytona. You were second there by helping push Tyler Dalton. This time, the shoe is on the other foot. You get some help, and you run this one to the gauntlet, sir.
Yeah, man, I finished getting out of this car here, so I'm wiping this sweat off, dude. I'm gonna tell you what, it was tough. Old John, he was hanging in there with me. I got real lucky there, I think.
He was hanging with you, but I mean, he wasn't giving you much breaks either. I mean, if you had a pinpoint, a position there really to worry about, were you more worried about Higman or were you more worried about Harrell as it was coming right near the end?
Yeah, I seen him coming on the bottom. I was just hoping he didn't hit me or nothing, and everything was clean. It's about the only way they probably could have got around is if they bumped me a little bit or something like that. Man, that's what a day. I'm gonna tell you, it's my first legitimate win.
First legitimate win and really much earned and deserved here, sir. It's been a time since we've been able to talk to you about this, but I got to ask you, who do you want to thank you for all this today?
Well, man, I had to. My daughter passed away February 18th, 2020, and today's the anniversary, and I hope I can dedicate this race to her since the one. Hope she's in heaven and God's looking after her. But yeah, the 811 call before you dig, CM 500, the Mafia, the league, everybody, man. I tell you, it's just I get so much help from these guys, and they're understanding with my patience. It's just great to be a part of these guys racing, man, and now the goat days come on board, and it's just a great time in our simulation here, man.
Ron, I think somebody might have been driving the right with the shotgun with you throughout this entire race to get you in this to victory lane tonight, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, I tell you, brother, I miss her every day. It's sad anytime you lose somebody like that, but you just have to go on, and thank God I got a lot of good people around me that you know, get up in the morning, thank God for another day, right?
Absolutely, man. It's the best thing you can do out there. Nevertheless, congratulations here tonight, man, and our thoughts and prayers there for your family from those couple of years ago.
Man, let me tell you, they were telling me, ain't you gonna do a burnout? And I'm so used to just, I'm so used to just pulling off. I didn't even think about it, dude.
It's all good.
It's
Anyway,
crazy. And
it certainly is.
the only chance to get out there and do a burnout, and I didn't even think about it. I was just so overwhelmed with the win. It's great, dude. It's just great to you work so hard, man, and you run 15s, and to finally get up there and just be able to in position. You gotta. It ain't just being fast. You gotta position yourself. And I thought it was over when that wreck happened. But these cars are durable, and I was able to get back up there. And man, it's just a great win.
Great win indeed there, sir. Ron, I think we need to kind of get ready to close this one off tonight here, buddy. So,
Yeah, man. I'll talk to you all night.
all
Thanks,
right.
man. Thanks to y'all for broadcasting the race too, bro.
Yeah, no worries, brother. Have a good night and big win and congratulations and most deserved, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, I don't mean to cut him off or any of that stuff here, guys, but we do have a show we gotta kind of close off. So, thanks, fans. Thanks so much for coming on board here tonight. Thank you so much to everybody, and again, we'll see them Tuesday night back on the Truck Series. So, enjoy the final promos as we end this one out. Thanks so much for everyone that came on board, and thoughts and prayers, of course, to the Holyfield family and all that for what we have now just learned here on the show. And we'll see you guys next time on the show.